Hello, 'tis I, Wayward Brigand. This is Wayward Let's Play. I'm playing Pillars of Eternity. I am streaming this live on Twitch. Sorry. I am streaming this live on Twitch. So if I start talking to people who don't seem to be there... Oh, wait. There we go. Text is really small. I like to be in this window. I thought there was a way to change the formation. Apparently you can only do that from camps? Whatever. It won't matter yet, the party composition, quite yet. An elven man stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. Miller raises his club as you enter and shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Put that down before you hurt yourself. Trump only raises his club higher. I mean it. I won't have Swainer and his lackeys threatening me in his own mill. My name is Poop Fart and I just arrived in the Gilded Vale. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale is had its shine of scraped off, and a big dung heap now. Swainer thinks he's king of it. They're all of them mad. What was that ruckus about outside? He shakes his head. Where's to begin? Swainer's whipping them up into a froth, going on about grain stores. Claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound, on the west side of the town, for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You took a look in the fields on the way into town? The crop's blighted, and most of it I'm getting from farmers. Trumbull gestures for the Saxon containers. It's gone off, routed through. I can't pay top prices for bladed wheat, and I'm barely getting enough good grains to go around. Swainer's howling after things he has no right to. If you don't want those people in here with torches, maybe you ought to stop lying to me. He blinks, taken aback. I'm not... Look, it's no lie. The stores really are low, and there's so little grain going around. I had to raise the prices on some people. There are folks in this town that deserve far better than Swainer and his lot. People who have done more for the Gilded Vale. People like the magistrate? I, I, I can't do anything about that, Trumbull says, his voice quiet. That's just how it works. Maybe things are different elsewhere. Here, Raedric's men, they keep the village safe, so they eat well. Serena's people are farmers. They gather the grain for you. They sure didn't mind losing that grain when it was going into the drinks at the end. They don't make like kind neighbors when they insult my son, go stambling drunk through my own crops. Think they're the only ones that need to eat? Now the crops are sick and the wind's too weak to get the windmill turning. Hey, Maddox. Our village is... no. This is actually my second time playing. I didn't finish my first playthrough. But I got pretty far, I think. Maybe 3/4 of the way through. And Swainer and the others haven't done a thing to help the rest of us through lean season. Maybe ought to go have a talk. Miller all but sags with relief. I'll be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it if you can convince him. Actually, I'm gonna go rest. Pass some time. I was playing it on PlayStation, and I had through PS Now, and I let my membership wear out, so I couldn't keep playing it. I mean, I could, I just didn't want to keep paying
Gods keep you.
for PS Now. I love the game. Uh, oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Ah, thank you. Oh, that is a godsend. Thank you so much. So there's someone in my chat, you can't see on screen, who just recommended that I can change scroll speed, and that helps so much. Okay. Okay, there's a Swainer is likely to be at the inn. Okay. I exited for no reason. I have a baby at my hand. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't have that. You can't have that, buddy. No, he's telling me. Jeez. Where's Swainer? Up top, second floor, I think. I think auto level was off because I picked Aloth's skills when he leveled up. Oh, it did. Huh. Never mind. He's not in here. That's a good point. I don't see him. As you near, feel vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. I am not reading all of that. I like the narration. I like to narrate this game. I think the writing's really good, but that was a lot. There he is. Walked right past him. Let's get everyone in case there's a fight. I don't remember if there is a fight here.
Good day, stranger.
Don't know who you are. I don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. Aloth lowers his eyes. I'm sorry, buddy. You can't have. There's a reason it's up there. He's trying very desperately to tell me exactly something. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause for just a minute. Give me a sec. There we go. He was hungry. He just wanted a snack. Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. Well, I bet he has. All nobility, that Trumbull. Two big, strong kids. Pure souls in all of Gilded Vale, the dwarf sneers. Coward sending out messengers to handle his business. Well, you can go and tell him we haven't had a solid meal in days on account of him, and we can't afford to drink on account of him, but we won't be bullied by some foreign on account of him. What if I buy you around? Will you talk to me then? Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and maybe I'll feel it trading words.
Hail and well met.
Fine fellows, you're having me on. Any more fighting, I'll have to ban Swainer from the inn entirely. Until then, 6 copper pieces for the lot. Please, if I can get them talking, I might be able to convince them to stop harassing the miller. Well, that's all right then. Here, these are 3 drinks for 3 fools. You get them off Trumbull's back, and maybe he'll be a little stingy with his supplies.
Hail, traveler.
I brought drinks. Ah, so you have. By the flame, I've never thought I'd be happy for a mug of Blackhound's shit beer. Gosh, that's good. All right then, you've got my attention. What have you got to say for worth a round of drinks? Look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. He gave up. You have him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. Surrender eyes you for a long moment. For a few long moments, drinking down from his mug. Then he sighs, "You're right. Things go on like they are, and we'll just end up hanging from that tree out there." He looks to his comrades. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Don't know what we'll do now with the crops failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Think Pasca needs help around the inn?
How do you do?
I spoke to Swainer. And what did they say? I convinced him to leave your family in peace. What? That's great news. I wasn't sure you'd get through to him. They're out of their minds with drink half the time. I owe you a great debt. Here, he poised his coin purse. Today's earnings to show my appreciation, and you can be sure I'll let everyone know what you've done to me. Keep it. You're having a hard enough time. You're a generous soul, friend. And we'll have to thank you for making it through the coming years. Safe travels, and may you find favor with the gods. Okay. So, on my way to Caed Nua. Could have sworn there's another quest in this city to do before I start heading to Caed Nua. I swear it had to do with that staircase. So I'll just go looking around for quests. Because experience is a commodity in this game. Ignored. Or Ingrid. I thought that was ignored. This man and woman appear to have deep in conversation, working at closing 2 bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little.
Hello.
Can we help you? She looks for her companion, brow furrowing with confusion. Do you know this woman, Nanton? Nanton shakes his head. I don't believe so. Was there something you wanted, stranger? That cloak. I've seen it before. You killed that man in the cave. Are you accusing him of something? Ingrid looks to Nanton, touching his arm. If that is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. Nanton shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands. What would make you suggest I saw such a thing? Stop. I have no patience for cowards and liars. Flinches, but meets your gaze. After a moment, he touches John and nods. Fine, I confess. I did it. I saw to it, and he'll never leave that cave. His hand falls to his sword, and now I'll do it again. Nonton, wait. Igor raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but that wasn't what you think. Pearly, my husband, he was as much of a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. Nonton, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. We've some coins saved up. You could have it if you only let us go. No, whatever the reasons you caused a man's death, I'm taking this to the magistrate. I don't know what you think you'll tell the magistrate. I told you about a dream you had, and you won't take this, but you won't take this from us. Not when we're so close. Enough of that wretched Pearly. Well then. Ah, PK, no! So, PK is raiding with 10 people.
Hey. How may I help? Lava.
Hey, watch it!
Well, I'm glad everyone raided right as I murdered a couple people in their own hut. Good timing. Whoops. It goes well. I hope. How are you, PK? Thank you for the raid. I think that's the most viewers I've had so far. A Druidian woman is standing in front of the fireplace. Thank you, PK. Humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Welcome.
Well, finally, I started to think. The woman starts a startled noise as she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting someone else. She gives you a curious smile. How can I help you? I was just arrived in Guildvale. I thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you with one of the caravans? She looks at you hopefully. Master Odoman's chance? I was, yes. I'm afraid the rest of the caravan was killed. Covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I knew. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Kaliska was always so certain she could take on any danger. She sniffs. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I had written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Offer's face crumbles, and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. Is there anything I can do? Do you mean it? She looks at you hopefully, her eyes wet. I heard that you had been a helper around town, but there's little enough kindness in people these days. I didn't think it was true. She wipes tears out her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I'm told Kaliska as much as I could, but I know it's all is that for a long story. Now, every child born in Gilderville has been soulless, empty. It happened to so many mothers, and Lord Redrick, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavors. She sniffs. With my Hawthorpe gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost my home too. I hope Kaliska could help me, but they say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child being hollow-born. But she moved south to Andlong's Compass 2 seasons ago. The journeys are too far for me, and I can't make it as I am. Please, the neighbors speak well of you. They say you're a good woman. Do you understand how hard it is for us here? I have nothing else to turn to. I'll find Ranga for you. You will? Oh, God bless you. Here, I'll give you my coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. You think it's a drink? You think it's a drink she fashions out of? Well, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Anzonga's Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. Thank you again. Truly, you'll be saving us both. For the life of me, I remember there being another quest where you go down into those stairs near the tree. Do you just go down? As you near, feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out to you. Okay. I saw someone go into the temple. Okay, I guess that's it. Just gotta go in. Really, buddy?
I haven't been in here.
A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeve soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. Have a care if you mean to go in. He casts a quick look around the doorway to his left. The place is not as empty as I thought. He goes up at Adir. Praying your respects, Athesian? He manages a pain grunt. A little risky, isn't it? Thinking what the town folks would say. Safer down here than up there, even with the rats as big as they are. A faint edge of hostility belies Adir's playful tone. The temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best, times being as they are. He groans and shifts positions, wincing. I'm no looter. It's just, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of his types either. Wirchin jerks his chin towards Adir. Just wanting to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. He regarded you wearily. Maybe you will have better luck. Better luck at what? The man pointed a finger upwards. These ruins around us used to be a temple of Aethus, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over Jerwood, from Red Saris even. Not so much from Red Saris this day. Until the war, of course. Even then, you'd get some of the stubborn ones, the ones that couldn't go in, get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. Lord Raedric allowed them to worship. Lord Raedric would clear out the place from time to time, make arrests. It wasn't until the legacy that he started losing patience. He sent his guards in to put the priests to the sword, bring the place down, burn some of the books, and that was that. Get to the point. As you like. Once the legacy started and Lord Raedric decided he'd been too lenient on the Eothasians, he had his people go in and put them all to the sword, left them down there buried under a heap of rocks. Heretics or not, their death didn't stop the legacy. Didn't do much of anything at all. They didn't deserve to go like that, chopped down in their god's house. If you can get down there, find the remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. He breathes out. No small task. There's coin in it for you if you need motivating. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. I'll find them. Then by the flame I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed up for so long it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down here by the lower floor. They'll still be there, if they're anywhere. These priests all had all kinds of secret chambers. Switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out. And take care down there. I wouldn't want to have to send someone after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch your stuff up some. So I'm going to pause for episode break here. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Check out Oso Geek. It's awesome. Bye-bye.